Hey everyone, welcome to another SMP Relatable. In the previous video, I mentioned there's a lot of misinformation and sometimes fraudulent information being given out to first home buyers trying to buy their properties with no to low deposit. And after reviewing hundreds of applications over the past few weeks, I wanted to go through the top 3 financial reasons why no to low deposit home loan applications will either fail or be put on hold indefinitely until the government and the banks make some decisions. So the first one we're going to go through is deposit. Regardless of whether or not an advertisement has said no to low deposit, you will need to come up with some form, and the minimum that a bank requires is 5%. So if we're looking at a $500,000 purchase, we need a $25,000 deposit. But what's often not advertised are the other costs that are involved. Things like lender's mortgage insurance, government, bank fees, even a solicitor's cost for conveyancing. And on a $500,000 purchase, we're looking at $19,000. So all of a sudden, we need $44,000. Now, what a lot of builders and what the marketers are hoping for is that you can use your first home buyers grant and the home builders grant as part of your deposit. Now, firstly, there's only a handful of banks that will actually allow you to use the first home buyers grant as part of your deposit. Currently, we've had some really good news as of today. The government has actually released that the home builders grant can be used as part of your deposit. Unfortunately, there is still no bank that has changed their policy to bring that in line to allow you to go and use the home builders grant. And the fact that there's only a handful of lenders allowing the first home buyers grant to be used, it's going to be doubtful that there's going to be a whole lot more allowing you to use the home builders grant. Now, if that's the case, in this particular scenario, you would still need to come up with $29,000, which for most first home buyers is going to be a real struggle to save, especially before the 31st of December, which is when the home builders grant runs out. Now, let's just assume we get our deposit sorted. The next thing the lender is going to have a look at is our credit history. Now, every bank will have their own checks and balances as to how they measure your credit score and or your history. However, with no to low deposit funders, what I can tell you is that you need a minimum score of 600. So if you go online and you check your credit score, you might see this nice fluffy number of 800. When we do a credit check for our clients, we do a deep dive comprehensive one, which will show us your entire history. And you'll often find that your credit score comes down. The next thing the banks are going to have a look at is the amount of inquiries that are on your credit report. Now, an inquiry can be anything from you walking into a bank and asking, can I get a credit card, car loan, personal loan, whatever it may be. But it also can be little things like I'm looking on Facebook and I see a holiday that I can go on now, but I pay for later. That could be a credit inquiry. It could be as simple as going to another Facebook post and saying, oh, you can have $2,000 right now if you so wish. You put in a few details, that can become an inquiry as well. The amount of inquiries and the type of inquiries can also bring either your credit score down or impinge you from getting a loan. We need to start thinking like a bank. You've never had a mortgage before, nor have you had a loan of that size before either. So when we go to things like Zip and Afterpay, or if we go to payday lenders like your Nimble, Wallet Wizard, or MoneyMe, those types of people where they'll give you $2,000 to $3,000, the bank is thinking, if you can't save that amount of money to be able to go purchase those things, how are you able to save either for a deposit or how are you be able to afford making a mortgage repayment as well? The other things, once we get past the credit scoring and the credit checking, is going to have a look at the conduct that you do with your finances. Are you paying all your loans on time? Are you paying all your bills on time? The banks will go through your statements, and if they see overdrawn fees, late fees, and it could be for your Telstra bill, it could be for your energy bill, whatever it may be, it can raise red flags when they're going through and looking at your conduct. Again, this can impinge you from getting a loan. The last one is superannuation withdrawal. You have to meet a certain criteria to be able to access superannuation. I've unfortunately found that a lot of people have gone and accessed it, lied to the government or the ATO just to get that money. If the bank then finds that out, they're certainly not going to give you any money. Second to that, if you've taken this money out, the banks will also think, why do they need that money? Can they not save? Can they not afford to be able to live without taking that money out? Now, let's just assume we get through our deposit, our credit history checks out, then we're going to go purchase a property. That's when it comes down to the banks again. You and I don't get to value the price of properties. Banks are the true valuers. And when we take that contract through to the bank, if there's a contracted price of $500,000, they will do their own valuation. And if, let's just say, for instance, it comes back at $485,000, which is $15,000 less than the contract price, guess who has to come up with that extra money? And it's not just that extra money, that goes on top of whatever deposit funds you require to go and purchase that house as well. So again, can also become unaffordable for our first home buyers, and or we just can't save that amount of dollars. So I hope this has given some insight for those of you who are going through this process or are looking to go through this process. If you have any questions on today's video, or if you would like to find out whether or not no to low deposit is right for you, then leave a comment down below, message us, or make a booking via our website. Thanks so much for watching. Please like and share with your friends and family. And remember, anything worth having in this life, we want to save, make, and protect.